What's happening, everybody? My name is Christian, and this is part 5 of the Tennessee Nightingale solo tutorial. If you missed part 4, check this link right there, and that will take you to that video so you can get all caught up with where we're at right now. So let's just get right to it. We just finished the circle of fists nonsense from the last part. So we ended with that big bend on the G, or up to the G, during this G sus chord, and then we have a little hit of C minor, and that's that whole lick right there. So first, before we get into the lick, let's talk about, or the solo, let's talk about the chord changes. So this whole section is pretty much C minor, E flat major, and let me just play the chords so you can see how everything goes. So we start with one hit of C minor, then we jump into this. Then we have this little thing. Two times. Then we have a little lick. That's pretty much that whole section. So let's just talk about what all those chords are so we understand how the lead will work on top of them. So the chord progression starts with a little hit of C minor, right? And it's just silence. And then walk up to F minor. I'm playing F minor 7, so root 5, flat 7, flat 3. Then the next chord is E flat major, but with the third in the bass. So 3rd, 5th, root 5th. The next chord is A flat major with just major 7 actually, just 1, 3, 5, 7 of that chord. Next chord is A flat minor with the raised 7. So 1, flat 3, 5, normal 7. So it's like a minor major 7 chord right there. And I also add in the 6 here and there, so I kind of play. So you should hear this, that little melody. Okay, back to C minor. Add the pinky right there to grab the major 7. I like doing this. I like playing little melodies inside of the chord changes, even though honestly no one hears them. I'm probably the only one that knows that they exist, but I kind of like doing it, so whatever. Like that little thing. Then that's that C minor 7 with the 7 on top. Then we have F major in first inversion, so with the 3rd in the bass. So that's 3, 1, 5, 1 for that F major. Then we have this chord, which you could call A flat 6, but you could also call it F minor with a 3rd in the bass. So if you looked at it from the perspective of A flat, it would be 1, 6, 3. But if you looked at it from F minor, it would be 3, 1, 5, right? So however you want to look at that. I look at it as F minor, honestly. So there's that. Then it goes to F major, 3, 1, 5, right? Same exact voicing, just major. So minor, major, minor, major, like that. Does that a couple times. Then it goes to C sharp major 7, just 1, 3, 7. Then C minor, just 1, flat 3, 1. The reason why I'm playing it like this, and maybe not just like a normal C minor or like that, because I wanted this note happening all the time in this second little chord section. So if you notice, all of the chords have that note in it. Right? Kind of like that common tone sort of sound. I've always liked that. So that's really what the chord changes are. Pretty standard E flat major C minor key with some chords here and there like the minor 4 and then the major 2 chord that kind of happen. So we'll talk about how the notes of the lead fit over that chord when we get to there. But anyway, let's get right to the lead. Okay, so this lead, the first lick we're going to talk about is this. That little thing right there. This is all happening really over nothing. It's kind of silent, but I'm thinking C minor for the most part. There is one thing I'm doing right here that I think it's a concept that I think if you understand what's going on, you get a lot of use out of it because it's really cool. So the idea is this. It's the concept is called triad pairs, and really what you're doing is you're playing 2 chords. Most of the time they're adjacent chords. They don't have to be, I don't think, but they work really well if they are adjacent, like E flat major and F minor. If you play both of those chords and arpeggiate them in a way that you're constantly kind of ascending or descending. It gets a really cool sound, and it honestly sounds like you're playing more than just arpeggios or more than just 2 chords. So this is what I'm doing. Let me give you an example of what it would be. So it would be something like this. How about this? I'm just going to ascend the arpeggios every time. So that's E flat major, 1 3 5. F minor, 1 3 5. But now I'm going to keep going. So E flat, instead of doing 1 3 5 just like, you know, up there, I'm going to do 3 5 1, which allows me to keep continuing up the fretboard in a natural way. So check this out. 1 3 5, 1 3 5 of F minor, 3 5 1 of E flat, 3 5 1 of F minor, right? 5 1 3 of E flat, 5 1 3 of F minor, 1 3 5 of E flat, 1 3 5 of F minor. You can just continue moving up as much as you want. You can kind of string together, you know, like a lick like that, where that was me going up one and down the next. It's a really, really cool sound, and that's just E flat and F minor. So you can do that with any pair of chords, I would imagine. Those two happen to work really well, so I like that for this particular section. So that's what I'm doing, but now let's talk about exactly the notes that I'm playing. So the lick is this. I start with a little, just E flat major, 1 3, 2 little pickup notes. Then the pattern actually starts here. Okay, so all I'm doing right there is I'm playing, for the first one I'm playing 5 5 3 1 of E flat. Then I'm playing 5 5 3 1 of F minor. Then I'm playing 1 1 5 3 of E flat, 1 1 5 3 of F minor. So you can see I'm doing exactly what I just described, just with a slightly different pattern. So how I'm picking this also, I'm doing a little pick for the pickup notes, just a little pick and then hammer on. Then I'm picking down, up, then following through with the upstroke to play the G, and then pulling off to the E flat. Then I'm picking the 5th of the F minor. Actually, I'm kind of picking everything here. Or I'm doing pick, pick, pull off, upstroke. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. Okay? Then the next one is the same technique both times, and that's just pick, pick, up, up, pick, pick, up, up. Or alternate picking, I should say. Down, up, 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 down, up, up, right? So I'm doing all 3 of those strings with 1 upstroke. So if I play that whole thing. Okay, last one. And that's just pick, pick, pull off, pick, pick, pull off, and then upstroke right there. I like this idea because it kind of gives this really nice da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da flow to it. It's a cool sound. I actually want to do it like this. Like that, to keep the phrasing consistent, but I recorded it like that, and I'm just going to keep doing it for now like that. So that's that first little section. So now let's get on to the next section, kind of the more melodic part. Okay, so we just left off with, and that takes us to these unison bends that I'm doing. So let me just play them. You can hear what they sound like. Okay, so that's just bending up to B flat, bringing it back and playing the A flat, bending up to G, F, E flat, and then bending it up to F, then bring it back for the E flat. So that whole melody should sort of sound like this. Like that. So you kind of get that sound, but I'm throwing in the unison bends just because it's kind of cool. All of the notes, by the way, are over the F minor, ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, and the last 2 are over the E flat. So all the notes are pretty standard. I mean, you know, some 9s. Like for the F, for example, it's 4, 3, 2, 1, flat 7. Ba-da-da-da-dum, and then over the E flat, it's just 2, 1, ba-dum, so F, E flat. So you get some chords like that, which is kind of cool. But the main note that I like, is my favorite, is the 4 over the F minor, which is the B flat. Okay, I really, really like what 4 sounds like over a minor chord. So for example, if I were to play the F minor and sing the B flat, it sounds like this. Or I really, really like what that sounds like. That's what it sounds like in chord form, if I were to actually play it. It's just one of my personal, notes that I really like. If I were you, I would recommend that you find notes that you really like over certain chords as well, so you can kind of target that sound and know exactly what it is and be as efficient about it as possible. So anyway, that's that section. Okay, now we continue. This is over the E flat chord. Okay, so that's kind of this C minor arpeggio, minor 7. So it goes 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. That's all over E flat major. And I'm thinking C minor because E flat and C minor, they're relative major and minor, so you can't really go wrong kind of combining them. They just always sound okay with each other. Okay, so that's that lick. I'm doing pick, hammer-on, slide, finger, finger, middle finger, ring finger, hammer-on for that last note. Yeah, it's a nice sound. Very legato sounding. Then, okay, so that's just slide up F, E flat, C, up to E flat. And then a little B flat, C, A flat. So that's over the A flat major chord. So all of that is except for the very last note. So if I sing it, I'll do it up an octave. Okay, so when I play the A flat minor, that's when that A flat note happens down here. So this is all A flat major, major, minor, right when I hit that note. So, or excuse me, just like that. Okay, which then takes us into the next lick, which is that. So I'm just walking up A flat minor pretty much. 1, 2, flat, 3, 5, 6. Then bending up to the A flat, and then the G. When I hit this G, that's when I'm playing over C minor. So just like that. If I sing all of that over the A flat minor, you can hear that. So and then the G over the C minor. So it's a really cool sound. Kind of that very A melodic minor, I suppose. That sort of sound. It's a cool sound for sure. That's over the minor 4. So after that, we do these little, at this point now I'm on C. This is all pretty much C minor pentatonic. So if I play that, that's just minor pentatonic, unison bend, bring it back, pull off to E flat, C, E flat, F, G. So, pretty simple. My fingers are sticky today. Then, 2 little bends right there, that's just up to B flat, up to A natural. So the B flat makes sense because it's the 7 of the C minor. The A is the 3rd of the F chord, which happens at that point. So it would sound like this. Ba-da-bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 like that. So, okay. Also, there's a little theme going on here as well. So if I play from the A flat minor, so those 2 little kind of descending bends, that's kind of a little theme that's going on if you care. But that's that section. That's all the little bendy stuff. I'll play it one more time. Okay, don't mind my wrong notes. There are a couple in there. So that's that section. Let's get to the next part. This minor pentatonic run that we're playing over these 2 chords. Let's get to that. Okay, last little section here. Pentatonic run, that's pretty simple. We're doing this really over nothing. I think it's kind of F major, but it's more just kind of a riff that's happening. So what's going on here is just C minor pentatonic, walking up from the 3rd to the flat 7. So 3, 4, 5, 7, then walk down 5, 4, like that. Then I'm sliding up 5, 4, 3, 1, like that. And then I hit the octave up top. So that's that. Pretty simple. Then I hold this note. When I hit that note, by the way, this is when this F minor happens. And then we go to F major. So this note actually just holds throughout both chords. So, still holding. Then we have bum, 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 and that's the next part. Okay, so this is just G, a little bend up from D to E flat, 2 times, then hit the C. Then I do a full set bend from D to E, then bend it up a little more to F, E again, D, C. A little out of tune there, but that's okay. Okay, so this sound, oh yeah, I forgot about that little bend. Play the C, then bend up again to the C for the B flat. That's over F minor. So all of those notes function over F minor pretty simply. It's like the flat 7/6, flat 7/6, 5 of F minor. Then this full set bend is E natural because I'm playing over F major right now. Now because I'm just playing an F major triad, I can play whatever 7 I want. I can play dominant 7th, or I can play major 7, because the chord is not doing either of those things. So it kind of gives me the liberty to do whatever I want as far as adding other notes. And I decided to play the major 7 right there, so that's why I'm bending up to E. So that sounds like this. If I sing that whole thing actually. So, bum, ba, 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 bum, ba, da, 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 da. So that E natural almost kind of comes out of nowhere, but I kind of like that sound because we're playing an F major 7 arpeggio, or F major chord when we do it. Okay? So at this point now, I want to talk about this next lick, which is over the C sharp dominant chord, or excuse me, not C sharp dominant, C sharp major 7. And I'm going to do this in the next section because I have a feeling my camera is about to overheat. So let me do that real quick. Okay, and now let's continue, and we are on C sharp major 7 right there, and the lick that's happening looks like this. That's that first little bit, and then it comes down, kind of does that sort of thing. So what am I doing here? C, bend up half set, bring it back, B flat, A flat, G, bend it up half set, bring it back to F. So if you just look at that, I'm sort of playing F minor scale right there, right? Just a pretty standard F minor scale. But I'm playing over C sharp major 7, so here's a new trick for you. If you are playing over a major 7 chord, go to its 3 chord. So this is 1, 2, 3, and play that minor over this chord. So what you're doing is you're still keeping all your minor sounding licks, but you're playing it all over a major 7 chord. It's a very, very common thing that a lot of people do. A lot of people do it and they don't even realize that that's what they're doing, but that works very, very well. So let me just play a C sharp major 7 chord, and I'm going to sing F minor over that. See what you think. So I'll sing that. So bum 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 ba da 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 da. So that's F minor over C sharp. So when you do that, you're actually getting a lot of cool notes. So if I just play F minor, you know, it's 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1 of F minor. But when I look at it in the perspective of C sharp major, it becomes 3, 5. If I play 4 of the F minor, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 3. Okay, so I just played this F minor pentatonic straight up. But over C sharp, they become these cool notes like 7, 9, 6, all that stuff. So you don't even have to think about that. You can just go on autopilot and play minor, and you're going to sound pretty good over that C sharp major. So that's a little trick. Any major 7 that you play, go like E major 7 for example, go up to its 3 and play that minor pentatonic, and you can never go wrong. So a little trick for you. After that, I come down this little figure. Okay, so that's hitting the F, C, G, F, G, B flat, E flat. So, okay, whoops. Another thing that's going on right here, it's not really happening, but it is something you can think about. Another little trick that you can play over a major 7 chord. Go back a half step and play suspended, like a sus. That sort of sound over the major 7. This only works if your major 7 chord functions with a sharp 4. So let me describe that. Here's a major 7. So 1, 7, 3, 5, normal major 7. Sharp 4 is always a fret behind 5. So there's 5, that's sharp 4. It's a very common chord sign you hear a lot of people play. It's actually used a lot in kind of pop music. That sort of sound. That's a major chord with the sharp 4. If you're ever playing in a key, the 4 chord always can live with a sharp 4. Okay, so I'm pretending the C sharp chord is kind of a 4 chord in the key. So that means I can put that sharp 4 in there. So if you can play this sus. If I can physically play it, I really can't today. So if I sing some of those notes, you can listen to what that sounds like. So here's your C sharp. Let me sing some of those. So bum 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 ba-da. So that's like a C sharp suspended sort of sound, that I just sang right there. So that's another little trick you can use. Anyway, so as we get back to the lick, come down come down F, C, G, F, G, B flat, E flat. Once we do that, that lick. Now I'm on C minor, so we can just go, just pretty much C minor pentatonic, pretty standard lick. I don't even have to explain that one, you've heard it all the time. Get to the top, come down, minor pentatonic. Okay, once I get there, down from the root to the flat 7, I do this. That's my little lick that takes us into the next part, which is, so I've got kind of E flat major pentatonic feeling, G, B flat, C, E flat, C, B flat, C, B flat, G, F, E flat. Okay, so that's that lick. Let me play this whole thing. Okay, so that's really it. There's nothing really else to that solo. I know there's a lot of little tricks I'm throwing in there. Hopefully it all makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, please let me know, and I'll hopefully be able to elaborate on that stuff in the future. But pay attention, or stick around, I should say, for the next part, which is that whole thing. I can't really play it right now. I'll have to practice it before I play the video. But that's going to be the next section, so hopefully all this stuff makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Take care.